Welcome back to the channel. I actually already recorded this and I made almost the entire video, but there was some construction going across the street, which I thought that my microphone wouldn't pick up, but it did. I thought that either my mic or my software would be able to filter out the sound of a jackhammer gently pounding away in the background of my video the entire time, but not so. So I'm re-recording it. That's okay. So today we're going to be talking about a few things. My first experience shooting portrait. One is going to be my first experience shooting Ektar. One is going to be my thoughts on shooting with people, specifically other creatives, and why I think that's so important. And finally, that a shoot isn't over until it's over. I thought that a shoot that I went on was going to be just absolute garbage, but it turned out to be one of my favorite shoots that I've ever been on. Let's get into it. So I'm a big portrait fan, just like pretty much everybody else. For those of you who don't know, portrait is a very popular Kodak professional film. It was developed in the 90s for wedding photographers. It's got nice soft pastel looking colors. A lot of my photos that I'm really happy with in the past have been from portrait, and I'm sure that a lot of photographers could say the same. Portrait's brother or sister, if you can say, it's like portrait's evil twin a little bit, is Ektar. Ektar is also a Kodak professional film, but instead of being developed for portraits, it was developed for landscapes. It has a lot more saturated colors, especially in the reds and the greens, which is something that you want to have if you want to reproduce a landscape. It's very fine-grained. It only comes in 100 speed. I got stuff in my throat. So they have an index that measures grain, and Ektar is well below the threshold to where you can even see the grain in a standard 4x6 print. Some of your cheaper films like Ultramax or Gold are just at or above that, so that's where the film grain look comes from. But with Ektar, unless you're looking really close or zooming in on the picture, you're probably not going to see any grain, which is cool if that's what you want. If you don't want that, obviously pick a different film. I decided to push this film based on the recommendation of a friend, also because I was going to be shooting at sunset, so I wanted to be able to shoot at 400 speed even though it's a 100 speed film. Then I overprocessed it in development. I think the fact that I pushed is responsible for the slightly less vivid and less crazy colors that I got out of this film. I traded my friend Sam a roll for a roll, and she gave me this roll of Ektar. Stuck it in my fridge, and it was there for forever. I finally got a chance to make a vlog about it, and so I loaded it up into my Minolta XGM. This is my grandpa's old camera, actually, and hopped on my bike and went to find some adventure. According to Samuela Silver.
No, don't say that. No, cut this out.
Why?
Because
Apparently I'm a.
second language.
You know what's cool about this lens too? It has image stabilization. It's like high tech versus low tech. Like high tech versus low tech. You know what I'm saying?
He's a loser.
I'm talking about her brain. Her brain is low tech.
This vlog.
Alright, you dig it? You see what I'm seeing? Alright, hold on. If we go down the block a little bit, let's vlog this. If we go down the block a little bit,
we'll be able to get rid of the cars because the cars stop after a little while. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Let's go down the block.
Welcome to Clearwater, y'all.
Thank you.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
F8, 1/1000th per second. Good to go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Rare episode of
Oh my god.
Sam Silver being inspired by inanimate objects.
I'm at F8, it's having me at 2000.
Justify yourself,
I kind of
Sam.
want a movie.
So this brings in more about why it's important to shoot with like-minded people, right? They say that you are the average of the 3 or 5, depending on who you talk to, most people you spend the most time with, right? And I think that's especially true in the creative side of things. I'm sure that if you're watching this channel, you have been out trying to create something with somebody who just saps your creativity. And it kind of sucks. It's like the worst thing in the world. On the flip side, when you're with somebody who really brings that creativity out of you, it's like you can create something out of nothing. And that's what I really realized here, because at the beginning I wasn't feeling it at all.
You know, him and sunlight, usually sunlight's on the top. I don't know how it's gonna look. Hopefully cool. You know what I'm talking about? Alright. Give me my fucking camera. I'm just kidding.
God. Stop being so aggressive.
I didn't think that I was going to get any good shots. And purely the fact that I was walking around with somebody else who was creative, I think put me in the right spots at the right times to get some amazing shots. And so the credit here goes to Sam for just being another creative person, enabling me to find, these shots. And she got a bunch of awesome shots of her own. That's kind of part 2 and 3, really. It's really important to go and find other creative people, other like-minded people who are gonna pull towards a common goal of finding the most beautiful shots, finding the beauty in the mundane, right? This was a pretty average evening, but pretty spectacular results. And I don't think that's an accident. Everything else equal, if I would have been alone or with somebody else, I would have not gotten the same quality of shots, guaranteed. So I think that's worth noting. There's a little bug outside my window right now.
What up, Sam?
It's very windy.
Is that why you put your sunglasses on?
Yeah, block the haters.
So, first experience with Ektar, awesome. Salvaged a shoot, pretty much entirely based on situation and company, and I think that says a lot. I will definitely be shooting with Sam again in the future. I have a very interesting video coming up next week with some special film that I misloaded on purpose. Foreshadowing. I'm excited to share that, and I'll definitely be going out with Sam again for that, because we got to get some banger shots, you know what I'm talking about? Anyways, I'm going to finish my Huel. Please sponsor me. And that should do it.